United States National Park. The location of Yellowstone National Park is in the west of the nation, principally in the northwest corner of Wyoming and extending into Montana and Idaho. The 42nd U.S. Congress passed the Yellowstone National Park Protection Act, which President Ulysses S. Grant signed into law on March 1, 1872. Yellowstone is often regarded as the first national park ever established, in addition to being the first national park in the United States. One of the park's most well-known geothermal features, Old Faithful Geyser, is one of its many wildlife attractions. Despite spanning several different biomes, the subalpine forest is the most common. It is a part of the South Central Rockies forests ecoregion. With the exception of mountain men's expeditions in the early to mid-19th century, systematic exploration did not begin in the Yellowstone region until the late 1860s, despite the presence of Native Americans there for at least 11,000 years. More than 1,000 archaeological sites have been explored, and hundreds of buildings have been built and are now preserved for their architectural and historical value. Yellowstone National Park spans an area of 3,468.4 square miles, 8,983 square kilometers, and is home to lakes, canyons, rivers, and mountain ranges. One of the most magnificent high-elevation lakes in North America, Yellowstone Lake, is situated above the Yellowstone Caldera, the largest supervolcano on the continent. It is believed that Caldera is a dormant volcano. It has erupted multiple times over the previous 2 million years, each time with incredible ferocity. More than half of the planet's geysers and hydrothermal features may be found in Yellowstone thanks to this ongoing volcanism. Lava flows and rocks from volcanic eruptions cover most of Yellowstone's land area. The park is at the center of the Greater Yellowstone ecosystem, the biggest and most intact ecosystem in the planet's northern temperate zone. In 1978, Yellowstone received the UNESCO World Heritage Site designation. Mammals, birds, fish, reptiles, amphibians, and even a few endangered or vulnerable species number in the hundreds. The extensive meadows and forests are also home to rare plant species. Yellowstone Park is the largest and most well-known megafauna location in the contiguous United States. Wolves, bison, and elk herds, as well as grizzly bears, have made this park their home. The park experiences forest fires every year. During the major fires in 1988, over a third of the park was destroyed. Yellowstone offers a wide range of recreational opportunities, including hiking, camping, boating, fishing, and sightseeing. Several of the lakes and waterfalls, as well as the main geothermal areas, are reachable by paved roads. During the winter, snow buses and guided tours powered by snowmobiles are regularly used to bring tourists into the area. The headwaters of the Yellowstone River, which gave the river its previous name, are located within the park. Near the end of the 18th century, French trappers gave the river the name Roche John. The Hidatsa-Nami Tsia de Z, which means Yellow Rock River, is probably the source of this name. Later, American trappers translated the French name into English as Yellowstone. As far east as the Mississippi Valley, Yellowstone obsidian arrowheads have been found, demonstrating that frequent obsidian trade existed between the local cultures and the tribes there. It is believed that the slightly older volcanism of the Snake River Plain and Yellowstone have a connection. Yellowstone thus represents the active part of a hotspot that has slowly moved northeast. The only volcanic system in the world bigger than Yellowstone Caldera is the Lake Toba Caldera on Sumatra. The caldera was formed by exceptionally powerful explosive eruptions, hence the moniker supervolcano. A single continuous magma chamber that is approximately 37 miles, 60 kilometers, long, 18 miles wide, and 3 to 7 miles, or 5 to 12 kilometers, deep is predicted to exist beneath Yellowstone. The current caldera was created by a massive eruption that ejected more than 240 cubic miles, 1,030 cubic kilometers, of ash, rock, and pyroclastic material 640,000 years ago. The Mount St. Helens eruption in 1980 was dwarfed by this outburst by a factor of 1,000. It fashioned a caldera that was 45 by 28 miles, 72 by 45 kilometers, in size, nearly 1 kilometer deep, and the current location of the Lava Creek Tuff, a welded tuff geologic formation. The most violent known eruption, which is believed to have occurred 2.1 million years ago, created both the Island Park caldera and the Huckleberry Ridge tuff rock formations. Prior to the eruption that produced the Henry's Fork caldera and the Mesa Falls tuff, 1.3 million years ago, a smaller eruption ejected 67 cubic miles of material. Massive amounts of ash were generated during each of the 3 climactic eruptions. This ash covered most of central North America and dropped hundreds of kilometers away. The quantity of ash and pollutants spewed into the atmosphere caused a number of species to go extinct, especially in North America. Additionally, it is believed that these emissions had a significant effect on the Earth's weather patterns. The most famous geyser in the park, and perhaps the entire world, is Old Faithful, which is located in Upper Geyser Basin. The Riverside Geyser, Castle Geyser, Lion Geyser, Beehive Geyser, Grand Geyser, the highest predictable geyser in the world, Giant Geyser, and numerous others may all be found in the same basin. The tallest active geyser in the world, Steamboat Geyser, is located in the park's Norris Geyser Basin. A 2011 study found that Yellowstone has seen at least 1283 geyser explosions. On average, 465 of them are active annually. Yellowstone is home to at least 10,000 different kinds of thermal features, including geysers, hot springs, mud pots, and fumaroles. The majority of the geysers and other geothermal phenomena in the world are found in Yellowstone. With over 4 million tourists each year, Yellowstone, the first national park in the world, is only a 12 or 5-hour drive from Seattle or Salt Lake City. Undoubtedly, you have to travel to get here, but once you do and see the endless expanse of green grasslands, you'll see that the effort was worthwhile. Breathtaking mountain ranges and a plenty of fauna, a 2 million acre gift for nature lovers, Yellowstone has the best of North America's wilderness. The National Park Service is honored to be in charge of Yellowstone National Park, and it is made easy to explore the park's highlights thanks to the circular road, which can be reached from any of the park's 5 entrances. So buckle up and get ready to travel to a location that has not yet been visited by humans. Don't be scared off by the prophesy merchants, even though geologists have long contested the caldera's origins and there are numerous hypotheses as to when the next major eruption will occur. Located atop a dormant supervolcano that is believed to have violently erupted over 60,000 years ago, Yellowstone is a geothermal spectacular. One of the best places to observe the geothermal activity bubbling beneath Yellowstone is a grand prismatic spring, which is less than 25 miles from the park's west gate. Seismic activity is frequently monitored to ensure the safety of park visitors. Take a look at the vibrant pool from a distance, but don't consider jumping in because the water can get really hot there. One of the most well-known geysers in the world, Old Faithful Punctual 2, is located to the south. Every 60 to 90 minutes, it discharges vapor and hot water into the air. Old Faithful was once used by explorers as a laundry, where they hung clothes at the vent to be shot into the air and properly cleaned by the boiling water. Along with a stunning display of geothermal activity, this region is filled with lovely forests, rivers, and lakes. Yellowstone Lake, the tranquil heart of the park, attracts outdoor enthusiasts for a variety of recreational activities. Set a line in the high plateau's icy waters. The park is filled with wildlife in addition to being full of legends and spectacular scenery. America's natural species have long found refuge in Yellowstone, and the huge bison's recovery is the park's greatest achievement. The largest wild herd still on Earth is now found in Yellowstone's Hayden Valley. Remember to keep your distance from this tough beast, since a close encounter is virtually certain. Leave your car at Artist Point and begin the short walk there for the best place to sit and admire the size of this natural beauty. There is nothing that can compare to the uplifting impact of natural beauty, and Yellowstone is full of places that seem to have been designed for people to just sit back and take it all in. At Pebble Creek, spread out a picnic blanket and unwind to the music of the creek's gushing water. Continuing north of the park, tall woods give way to sweeping plains. Lamar Valley is home to verdant fields that are surrounded by snow-capped hills and fed by bubbling brooks. When it gets dark, pitch your tent at one of the numerous campgrounds or exit the park by Gardner's north entrance, which makes for a great rest area for weary visitors. Before starting your epic Yellowstone excursion, warm up with a big supper at one of the many saloons. If you want to see more wild bison and the other native creatures of Yellowstone up close, bring your binoculars. Mammoth Hot Springs, which is like traveling to a different continent and occasionally another planet, is located just south of Gardner. Minerals from the springs solidify to create limestone terraces that are continually shifting. Travel south to Norris, where the ethereal forms serve as a powerful reminder that change is the one constant in life, even in the natural environment, which is surrounded by hundreds of geothermal wonders. Pay attention to the artisans and the seething, boiling clay down within the earth. Paint containers holding your breath, you stroll down boardwalks barely a few inches above the trembling surface of Norris Geyser Basin, passing through billowing clouds of vapor rising from the crust of the earth. Yellowstone National Park, the ancestor of all national parks, has a long history of being a site of vast horizons, legendary legends, and never-ending regeneration. Going to Yellowstone today is like going back in time to view America's magnificent landscape before the arrival of the Europeans. It is comparable to going back in time to the moment of creation. Please remember to like and subscribe when you have finished watching.